It's been a whole day of festivities leading up to the Winston. Goo Goo Dolls entertain in a concert in the infield for an appreciative group of fans and NASCAR insiders, and even a driver or two.
I don't see any of the older drivers down there anywhere, Larry.
Don't see any anywhere. No, you're right.
I love to see a lot of the younger drivers down there with their hats on backwards.
They did put quite a show down there.
They'll be among the groups entertaining at the Dale Earnhardt Legacy Concert end of June in Daytona. Weather, we're going to have some.
And there you see the air temperature of 59 degrees. Track temperature, these guys, their final practice last night was about 11 o'clock. Track temperature was a little warmer, but trust me, when the track temperature goes down here, the speeds go up.
Oh yeah, she gets nice and sticky.
Good grip.
Let's have a look at our STP starting grid for the Winston Open. Steve Park, who won the 2000 Open, is on the pole. Todd Bodine, who won in 1995, up there on the front row. Jimmy Spencer, the 96 winner. Mike Wallace in Jerry Nadeau's ride. Kenny Wallace, Kenny Schrader. Mike Skinner and Brett Bodine. Have a look down through the 27 cars that will start this race. And only one advances.
You saw Jimmy Spencer starting on the second row last night. 3 laps into his practice, lost an engine. Engine rules play a factor here. He will have to go to the rear of the field. That's not a big deal normally, but remember, this is a very short race. A long way to go and a short time to get there.
How short is it? 30 laps. 20 laps and then a caution flag, during which you may pit if you wish. And then in the last 10 laps, only the green flag laps count.
And there's only 14 cars that transfer. Is that correct, Larry?
And I mean, look at that, $47,000 plus to win this race.
And a chance to win $1 million. Dick Berggren.
Between the Winston and the Winston Open, Ken Schrader has finished second 6 times. He has finished third 4 times. He has finished fourth twice. He has never won. Tonight, Schrader has a fast car, and no one is more overdue to win one of these things than he is. To Steve Burns.
Well, Dick, as Jerry Nadeau continues to recover from injuries suffered at Richmond several weeks ago, Mike Wallace fills in for him in the 01 car. He may be the sentimental favorite, but he's won in all 2 of the 3 premier divisions in NASCAR, the trucks, the Busch Series. He wants to get a win here tonight. Matt Yoakum.
Well, Steve, Jeff Burton's wife Kim told me today that Jeff had been grumbling for about the last month about wanting to win a Winston Cup race so he wouldn't have to go from the Winston Open into the Winston. Well, he couldn't pull it off, so he starts 18th on the grid tonight. Burton's crew chief, Paul Andrews, told me the car was very fast in the final practice session, turned in the second fastest time. They are looking at this car as being a 10-lap sprinter. They're only concerned with that final 10 laps. They think they've got a car. They can go to victory lane, but Mike Joy, they've got a lot of work ahead to get there.
Last year, Jeff Burton and his then crew chief Frank Stoddard ended up getting their own chapter in the NASCAR rules for the Winston. Here's why. Well, if you're Frank Stoddard, Jeff Burton's crew chief right now, you're a lonely guy.
I told him he was going to try to come down there then. I don't know why they haven't pitted the car. Got to pit next time by or else. He's got to come to pit road this time. He's not coming.
What if your pit was before the start-finish line? You pitted on the last lap, and you only had to jump across the line.
Yeah, because the start-finish line goes all the way across the road. That's what he's going to do.
This is either crazy or brilliant.
How about that?
Jeff Burton slips across the line. He is second to Jimmy Johnson.
I have got to tip my hat to Frank Stoddard. That was a brilliant call.
Next year, there'll be a rule against that.
Now it's next year, and guess what?
There's a rule against that.
You have to take the green flag and the checkered flag on the racetrack. But we talked about it in the opening, thinking out of the box.
Yep.
That's what you have to do. That did not win the race for Frankie Stoddard and Jeff Burton, but it transferred them to the Winston. They would not have made it had it not been for that move.
But you see the dilemma NASCAR is always in. No matter how many rules they make, no matter how many ways they try to figure out how a guy could cheat them out of something, there's always another guy that's a little sharper than they are.
Well, there's only one set of officials. There's 43 race teams.
43 minds.
And that was in the first segment of the Winston. They would not transfer to the second segment had it not been for that move.
43 dangerous minds.
Right.
Not necessarily beautiful minds.
All right, this race will be 30 laps, 20 laps, then a caution. 14 drivers advance to the 10-lap shootout, and only those green laps count.
And that's going to when it gets interesting.
Yeah.
What do you do? I think that's when we really see who has the strategy and how it's all going to play out. Jimmy Spencer back there, he's got to get to the top 14 in this first 20 laps.
So the big dance in these 20 laps is the bubble position, which is 14th.
Or you load up and go home and try again next week or next year.
Yeah, beating the traffic is no fun in this case tonight.
If I was Mongo, I'd tie a bone on the back of that 30 car up there and tell him to go get it. They got the signs everywhere, don't they, boys?
Yes, they do. DW, reach up there.
It's time.
Pull those belts tight. Nice.
It's time. One of my favorite times to hear they come and they're going to go boogity, boogity, boogity. And yep.
Well, Steve Park, his 30 car, he got a heck of a jump on that starter. Either Todd Bodine did not get a good start.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think Todd took off.
But boy, he pulls right up to his rear bumper through the middle of 1 and 2. Todd had the fastest car in practice last night, the 54 car.
Nice clean start. One car well off pace. Hedleski in the Judy Donlevy car. Tight pack. Oh, got trouble.
That's Mike Wallace in the 01 car.
He got turned.
Caution is out.
Caution's out. Black flag's out for somebody.
That's for Steve Park. I'm going to about bet Steve Park, because that's who he waved it on in the 30 car. That's who he displayed it on anyhow.
Well, here we go. I mean, already we haven't run a lap. We got a car spun out. We got the leader getting black flagged. You know why we call this an all-star event and never know what's going to happen? Because this is just the beginning.
I mean, if that's the case on Steve Parks, that's in 3 weeks he sat on the pole twice and had problems on both starts.
Well, first, let's show you what happened to Mike Wallace. I believe there was contact.
Yeah, I think he gets bumped.
Looks like Kenny Schrader in the 49, his car moved up just a little bit and caught Mike Wallace in the left rear, Darrell.
Yeah, he did. He just spun him right around. And Mike just does a great job, and everybody around him does. Matt Kenseth.
Dave Blaney in the 77.
That's, yeah, Blaney. These paint jobs.
These paint schemes throw off the curve, don't they?
And here, let's look at the start.
They're coming, they're coming, they're coming. I haven't said boogity, boogity, boogity yet.
All right, you see Steve Park had went there. And there you see the red stripe on the outside wall. That's where you start the race right there. It looked like, Darrell, he possibly started it well before that.
So he got a little over anxious, and now he comes to pit road for a stop-and-go penalty.
I mean, I know when you're sitting there on the pole and you're the leader of the race and you start the race, but you do have to wait for the flag to wave. You can't start before the green flag comes out. There's that right front damage that Schrader had getting into the side of Mike Wallace.
And Wallace will also pit to check and make sure everything's good with his car. Dick?
Yeah, Kenny Schrader is in, Mike. It's going to be right side tires. They're going to pull the right front fender out. Might as well put a little gas in it, so they're going to do that as well while he's here on pit road.
Field at caution speed so they can take their time in making these pit stops.
All right, I want to show you about these red stripes. Right here, this is about halfway between the entrance of pit road and up to the center of the tri-oval. That's where you start the race, and that's where restarts are, right there. That's what the driver's indication is, and that's where the green flag is displayed.
Yeah, and even though you're on the pole, and everybody dictates off of what you do, you have to wait for the flag to come out.
You see, it's well before the start-finish line.
The pole sitter dictates the speed at which the field is brought to the flag, but he does not start the race. The man with the flag does.
That's right.
If Park wins this from the back, oh boy. Now that's a lot to ask.
It is.
So that leaves Todd Bodine as the leader of the Winston Open on FX.